text. Acts of the Apostles 22, 1 to 21. Brethren and fathers, hear my defense before you now. The voice of Paul the Apostle rises from the steps, not as one seeking escape, but as one bearing witness. The scene is charged with tension. Jerusalem, the city bound to covenant history, stands as both the backdrop of promise and the stage of its fulfillment. The man speaking is not a stranger to zeal, nor unfamiliar with the weight of tradition. He speaks in the Hebrew tongue, drawing near to his audience, not as an outsider, but as one who once walked the same path with fervor. I am indeed a Jew, brought up in this city at the feet of Gamaliel. Here is a life shaped by the strictest devotion to the law, trained under Gamaliel, a name respected among the people. His former identity was not casual or indifferent. It was intense, consuming, and relentless. He persecuted this way to the death, binding and delivering both men and women into prisons. The high priest and the council bore witness to his former zeal, yet the narrative does not remain in that former world. As I journeyed, suddenly a great light from heaven shone around me. The turning point is not gradual reform, but divine interruption. A light surpassing the sun breaks into his path, and with a voice, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" The question reveals a reality hidden from natural sight. His actions against believers were in truth against the risen Lord. The identification is complete. To touch those in him is to touch him. Who are you, Lord? I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you are persecuting. The one rejected and crucified now speaks from glory. This is not merely correction, it is revelation. The crucified one lives, and his life redefines everything. The persecutor is not instructed to repair his past or atone for his violence. Instead, he is brought into a new reality entirely shaped by grace. Rise and go into Damascus, and there you will be told all things which are appointed for you to do. The direction is forward, not backward. There is no call to revisit the past in order to balance it, but rather a summons into what has already been prepared. From the glory of that light, he is led by the hand into Damascus. The one who once led others bound is now himself led in weakness. Yet even this blindness serves a purpose. It marks the end of one way of seeing and prepares him for another. Then enters Ananias of Damascus, described as a devout man according to the law, well spoken of by all the Jews. The message he brings is not condemnation, but clarity. The God of our fathers has chosen you that you should know his will and see the just one and hear the voice of his mouth. The initiative is entirely divine. The choosing precedes the knowing. The seeing of the just one confirms that righteousness is not found in law-keeping, but in a person, one already established as righteous. And now, why are you waiting? Arise and be baptized and wash away your sins, calling on the name of the Lord. The washing described is not a process of gradual cleansing, but a decisive act tied to the revelation of who the Lord is. The name carries the reality. To call upon him is to stand in what he has accomplished. The account then moves to the temple, the very center of covenant identity. While praying, he falls into a trance and sees him again. Make haste and get out of Jerusalem quickly, for they will not receive your testimony concerning me. Jerusalem, once the heart of expectation, now resists the testimony of fulfillment. The system that once defined access to God stands unable to receive the one who has brought that access to completion. Paul responds with reasoning rooted in his past, his former persecution, his approval of Stephen's death. Yet the answer is not shaped by his history. Depart, for I will send you far from here to the Gentiles. The movement is outward. What was once confined within a national framework now extends beyond it. The message is no longer centered in a geographical or ceremonial system, but in a finished work that reaches all. This passage unfolds as a testimony of transition, from zeal under law to life in revelation, from blindness to sight, from opposition to witness. The defining feature throughout is not human effort, but divine initiative. The light appears, the voice speaks, the calling is given, the direction is set. What began on the road continues before the crowd. A declaration that the risen Christ has acted and that his action establishes a new reality, one not built on the striving of man, but on the completed work of the one who speaks from glory.